Hello and welcome back to Chasing Green Arrows. Today we'll be doing the player ratings for Arsenal versus Manchester United. It was a nil-nil draw, but it wasn't dull. It was an entertaining game, chances for both sides.
Yeah.
Personally, I felt that Arsenal should be more pleased with the draw, not because of anything, but I think because they didn't have some main players. And despite playing at home, I think they did a really good job. United, on the other hand, had most of their players and should have won. They should have, they probably wanted to win, especially after that Sheffield game. But I have with me my co-host, Abraziz. How are you doing, bro?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. I thought it was an entertaining game. I thought both sides could have won this game. Both of them had golden chances.
Yeah.
I thought, especially with that Cavani, a couple of chances, and then with Lacazette hitting the post, and then a couple of chances for Pepe and Zaka. I think it was who had another good chance. And so, sorry,
Willian as well.
Willian, yeah, Willian and Pepe had some good chances. So on another day we could have lost that game 2-0. On another day we could have won that game 2-0. But
Yeah.
I thought that we did. I thought that we did okay. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I think a draw was a fair result.
Yeah, it was a fair result, but I actually felt that I was very impressed with Arsenal because when you don't have key players, it's very difficult to show up like that, and I think they showed up. They could have easily lost that game at certain stages. United didn't take the chances, but then they created chances and easily could have won as well. They came back, I think. Initially, I think United looked good, but then I think Arsenal got into the game, and like you said, both sides had chances, and then it was an even game. So I think they weren't evenly matched on paper with Saka missing, Aubameyang missing, Tierney missing. These are big players, Gabriel as well. So I think to come back like that, I think we'll give Arsenal a lot of credit. And it was a fun game to watch, though. It wasn't dull at all. But
no, absolutely, it was fun. Yeah.
So let's start with the player ratings. You ready? Let's go with Arsenal first.
Let's go.
Leno and goal.
Leno and goal, man. That save from Fred. I think it's just a 10 on 10 performance just based off of that. But I think he was.
I thought it was going in, man. Even Fred thought it was going in.
Everyone thought it was going in. You saw the reactions from everyone. It was just like, wow, what just happened over there. So I mean, it was a very, very important save that could have really changed the complexion of the game. I think as United were on top a little bit at that time, so that was like a big chance. It was a nice looking pass, like top right, exact perfect positioning and fingernail save. So just on the basis of that, I thought he had an incredible game. He's been our best player over the past 2 seasons. He's just been incredible, and that's the reason why I kept saying Leno over Emi. As much as I love Emi, I think Leno over Emi just for these kind of situations. And 9 on 10 for me for him.
9-10 for Leno. And then moving on, let's go Bellerin.
Bellerin. He's lost a little bit of that half a yard of pace, which has become a little bit difficult for him, and that's why you see him struggle going forward. I think defensively he was okay today, but I think going forward he really lacked that killing instinct, and that was the issue. I think with him not being able to support Pepe, as especially with the kind of game that Pepe was having yesterday. If he would have been able to support him a little bit more, I felt like we could have recreated a little bit more from that side. I just felt like we were lacking that because Bellerin was probably. Also a little worried about Martial and Bruno and Rashford coming from there. I think he was probably worried about their pace. So I think it was a little bit of a tactical decision as well to kind of just guard that back line a little bit as well. Yeah. But I just felt like he could have done a little bit more moving forward. I thought he had an okay game, a 6.5 for him.
6.5. Yeah, I think I completely agree. Going back, he was really good. He intercepted the ball quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I think probably aware of that United threat on the counter. I think.
Yeah.
It was good performance by him. And then Cedric Soares.
I thought he had a better game when he played in the last game than he had yesterday, than he had against United. Because in the previous game he was absolutely phenomenal, but I just felt like he lacked a little bit of that pace. I think maybe he was just a bit tired. But whatever it was, I just felt like there were a couple of chances that Rashford had which he didn't finish, and that was when he was left alone on the back. And as a left back, you need to cover those kind of positions. And I just felt like he kept coming in too much, and he left the white spaces open a little bit. Yeah. And I thought that was something that he needs to work on, and maybe because it's not his natural position, he was getting a little bit moved. He was moving in, and it was a big game. But I thought he did okay moving forward. I thought he created some chances when he were moving forward. So I thought he had an okay game, just like Bellerin. I think 6.5 for him as well.
6.5 out of 10, and then David Luiz.
David Luiz grew in stature in that game. I thought he marshaled his backline very well. I think he was being the leader at the back. He was communicating with everyone. I just felt like that's something that he he is that kind of a player. He has a mistake in him every now and again, but I just feel like he's improving and bringing this team along very well. And I think he is the leader at the back line. I thought he had a great game, except for that one instance where. Bruno went past him pretty easily, and he luckily he hit the shot wide. But I thought apart from that, I thought he did decently. The communication and keeping the back line together was very very important. And just on the basis of that, I'll give him a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10. And he, I think it was him, right? The Bruno free kick. He's the one who headed it, like it deflected off him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
a block from him. I
yeah,
think he was really
yeah,
happy with that. So,
yeah.
yeah. And then that was a good block. And then moving on, Rob Holding.
Man, Rob Holding, Arsene Wenger said it. I'm sorry he didn't cost 55 million, but that's the kind of player he is, man. For 2 million, the kind of player that we got, what a player he is. He's had his up and down in this Arsenal lineup, but I think he's really growing in stature, and I think the whole fact that he's playing with an experienced player like David Luiz is helping him. I think he's an incredible second line defender. I think if he has a good communicator with him, if he has someone who has experience with him, I think he really looks good. He reminds me a little bit of I know I'm going to get a lot of stick from some Liverpool fans, but he reminds me a little bit of Joe Gomez when he plays along Van Dijk. That's kind of the kind of player he reminds me of. He has a long way to get to that kind of consistency, but I think that he's been doing it again time and again now. I think he's been putting in a shift almost every game over the past few weeks, and he's been very very good. Even aerially, I think yesterday he was massive. I think he was trying
Yeah.
to head every ball out. I thought
He
he had a
cleared
very
the
very
ball 10 times.
yeah, he had a very, very good game. I think I want to give him a 9, but I'll stick with an 8.5.
8.5 for Rob Holding. That's fair, I think. And then moving on to Partey, Thomas Partey.
He had a poor game. I mean, I have very high standards from him. I thought he misplaced the ball way too many times.
Yeah,
I
he was
thought that
sloppy. I think
he
off the
was.
ball he was good. On the ball he was poor.
Yeah, he was incredibly sloppy. There were a few times where he made some irrational passes. He misplaced the ball way too many times. He just made some poor decisions. It was just not one of his games. And this is only the. I mean, he's still getting into this team. He's had his fair share of injuries, so that's not helped him as well. So I think on the basis of that, I thought that this is a game that if he was on song, we could have won. But unfortunately, he wasn't, and that's why we drew. But just on the basis of how he played, I'll give him a 6/10. I think he was not too good.
6/10 for a Party. And then Smith Rowe, he looked bright, but then got a bit tired, I think, as the game went on. Your thoughts
He had
on his
an
role?
excellent first half. I think in
Yeah.
the first half he was all over the place. He was really joining the game together. He was bringing in those chances, but just felt like his performance was kind of United had a better first half and Arsenal had a better second half.
Yeah.
I just felt like if he would have performed the way he did in the second half as well, I think we would have won this game again. I just felt like he wore off a little bit and he got tired, and because he puts in a shift every game, I think he's getting tired, and he's been playing every 3 days now. So there is probably something that Arteta might need to think about, giving him a week off, and maybe trying Odegaard, and because now that we have that kind of a player now that available, so maybe just try Odegaard in the next game, give him a week off, and maybe play him in the weekend again. So it's something that Arteta will have to think of, because I thought after 60 minutes he really looked for the next 15-20 minutes he really looked off pace. I think he couldn't create much, and that's when we were really moving forward and trying to make those chances. I just felt like we stepped off the pedal a little bit, because I think Smith Rowe got a little bit tired. But I thought overall he had a pretty decent game. I'll give him a 7.5 and 10.
7.5 out of 10 for Smith Rowe. And then Nicholas Pepe.
You missed Granit Xhaka.
Sorry, Zaka. Yeah, I missed him out. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Granit Xhaka. Yeah, sorry, I missed him out. Your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, Xhaka was phenomenal. I thought he was amazing. I thought he was so good that in my I have a feeling. Yeah, I have a feeling that people didn't understand that, but I just felt like he was manning that midfield very very well. I just I thought that he did whatever he needed to do. He didn't make any mistakes, and he's starting to look good with Partey. I think, and the kind of defensive cover that he gives, no one really looks at that. I think because anytime Cedric was going up, he was taking that left back position. He was handling that situation pretty well. I think that he didn't make any mistakes. He did a pretty good job of marshalling that midfield. It would have really helped if Partey was on song with him. It would have made this team look really really good. But I thought Xhaka was good. I thought he was very good today. I'll give him an 8 on 10. I think this is a little bit of a controversial one, but I just felt like personally when I was seeing him on the field, I know some people are just out there to like make a mockery of Xhaka, but I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I just felt like he had a good game, so 8 on 10 for him.
Fair enough. 8 out of 10. You looked at the parts where not many people look at, right? Like the dirty work, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly, and he did a lot of that, so I thought he was pretty good.
Fair enough. I was gonna go Pepe, but let's go Martinelli first. I felt that, yeah, he didn't provide much, so he got subbed off quickly. I think in the second
Yeah,
half.
it
So
was. Yeah, I did. I mention it was the second. Uh, it was a tactical decision to bring in Willian. I don't agree with that because Willian was so poor. But I thought, yes, I agree with the fact that he was not able to get into the game at all. Almost, he just felt like he was not in the game at all. But I think those two saves off of Rashford, the first one when he headed it out, and the second one when he came in the middle when Rashford had the time. There was two chances where he had in the first half, and both the defensive duties were done by Martinelli, and I think that was incredible.
yeah.
Both chances he could have, if Rashford with the kind of player that he is, he could have easily finished it off. But I think that Martinelli's presence over there, like. Hindered his kind of thinking a little bit, Rashford's thinking a little bit, and that was very very important. So just because on the basis of those defensive like like he was so good defensively, just on the basis of that I'll give him a 6.5 on 10. I think that's a little bit that's a point extra, but I just felt like he deserved that on the basis of that defensive uh coming in the way of Rashford's positions. I'm not getting the
All,
word for it, but yeah.
yeah. All right. No, perfect. Martinelli 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I probably would have given a point less, but I understand where you're coming from. And then moving on, Nicholas Pepe, man, I think he was your best player, but yeah, he didn't. He missed the chances. He could have won you the game. Should I put those away? But I see that talent now coming out. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I see the talent is there. It's just he needs to just like just be consistent and keep improving from here.
Absolutely, I think that over the past 2 or 3 games, it's not been a while, and I want to see him a little bit more, get a little bit more consistency before I can start singing his praises. But I
Yeah,
think that we're starting to see what he's made of, and why the kind of money that was paid for him was actually paid. He needs to do it more consistently. There's no doubt about
agreed.
it.
Yeah.
But in flashes, at least now we're starting to see what I'm positively encouraged about, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more from him. I thought he had a very good game again. This game against United, I thought he was pretty good. I'll give him an 8 on 10, just because he should have finished it off. If he did finish it off, I'd give him a 9 or a 10.
All right. Yeah. No. That's fair. So Nicholas Pepe 8 out of 10, and then moving on to Lacazette, he hit the post. But apart from that, did you see him? Would you want to see more of him, like in that in the box?
I thought he could have in a couple of instances been available a little bit more, but I just felt like the kind of work, that shift that he put in, I thought he was quite immense. He was as usual. He was trying to hold up the ball as much as he possibly could, and he was trying to create chances for his wingers. It was just unfortunate that I just felt like we lost this game by not controlling the midfield as well as we could have possibly done, and that was largely due to the fact that Partey was a little bit poor,
Yeah.
and also the fact that our wing backs were not able to contribute as much moving forward,
Yeah.
and then that's why Lacazette's importance kind of was diminished a little bit. But I thought overall, I thought he had a decent game, and that he hit the inside of the post, and that was a little bit unfortunate, just a
Yeah. That
shade
was a
below, and that
nice
was
free
in.
kick.
Yeah, that was a beautiful free kick, and it could have almost just, it was just unfortunate that didn't go in, because David De Gea was in no man's land. I mean, he was just going to look at it, went past him.
Yeah.
So a little bit unfortunate. I thought he could have done a little bit better, and that's why I'm going to dock off a point from him. I think it was a pretty decent team performance by him. Like he tried to bring the team together as much as he possibly could. 7 or 10 for him.
7 out of 10. Yeah, I think also there's a lot of misplaced passes from both teams, and that probably hampered the attacking players
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
And then Willian coming on as sub for Martinelli. Your thoughts on his performance? Scored, should have scored, and then almost got an assist as well, but
Yeah.
just couldn't.
He should have just scored. I mean, like, what was that kind of shot? It was complete. He was absolutely open. There was no pressure from anywhere,
There
and he
is
just.
pressure, I think, off the field. That's the problem. I
Yeah,
think that's the
well,
issue.
he deserves it because of that kind
Yeah.
of. I mean, he's low
I think
on confidence.
I think that's what it is. Mentally, he's not there.
Yeah,
I think that's the only
yeah.
thing you can explain about that. Otherwise, you'd expect him to put that away.
And yeah, the kind he's a quality player. He used to be a quality player,
Yeah.
and he yeah. And any other time when he's a little bit more confident, he buries that. But I mean, it is what it is. Yes, it was a big chance that was missed, but what can you do? But he kind of made up for it with that nice looking pass that should have gone through. But yeah, it was just one of those days where it didn't work for both teams. Like I said, so it just didn't work for both teams. So
Yeah.
I'll be fair. I'll give him a 6. I think I want to give him a 5. Actually, let's go with the 5 because that chance, if he would have finished that, it was a 1-0 win for Arsenal.
Yeah, I
That would have
agree
been
with you.
perfect. So
Yeah,
so we have to
100%.
give him a 5. Just have to be a little bit rude over there and give him a
And
5.
he's experienced, right? It's not like it's Smith Rowe or somebody
New
like that.
player, yeah,
But
exactly. So
yeah, so 5 out of 10 for Willian, and that wraps up the ratings. Odegaard debut. He didn't play much, but happy to see him come on.
yeah, for sure. I think he hardly had a few touches, so it's barely. It's almost impossible to rate him off of that. I'd
Yeah,
just like to see if he against Wolves in the next game, if he can start, maybe give Smith Rowe a little bit of a break, give
yeah.
him about 60, 70 minutes, see what he can produce on that, and then we can start to look at some of the. He's done a lot at Sociedad in the La Liga, in new league, new pressures. Let's see how he performs.
Yeah, definitely. And just finally, Mikel Arteta, his rating out of 10.
I think he's doing very well. I think he's bringing that system along. I think he's bringing that system along very well. The fact that we didn't have some big key players and still perform pretty well, I think it's more to do with the way the system is working versus an individual player. Having said that, I think that there's a long way to go, but he's on the right path. He's in the right. He's progressing well. I'll give him an 8 on 10.
8 and 10. I know you did it out of stubbornness and everything, but you were correct about backing him and they're gonna flip it around and this and that. I was doubting that you actually believed all that, especially in December. It was such a bad run. I honestly thought he was one game away from the sack, that Chelsea game.
Yeah,
And you were completely right, so I'll give it to you. But yeah, I don't think you were like believing yourself at one point, man. I had a small doubt, but hats off to you, for backing your team in that sense.
I always back my team. I always back Pepe too.
Backing a team and then backing it to that. Like you back the manager, and like, there's a lot of people who back the team but didn't back the Arteta during that time. A lot of fans. I think you and like another couple of fans were like the few who actually backed Arteta even with those results.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yeah,
I added in him.
Yep. And then that wraps it up. Let's go, Man United.
Yeah, let's go. Let's start a goal at the goalkeeper, David De Gea.
He didn't do anything. He was chilling, bro. Like I think he didn't have to do. I don't think he had to do much. Was there any saves? No, I don't think there were any.
Nothing that comes to mind. But yeah, a couple of there were. Yeah, of course. I mean, Arsenal didn't take their chances, so fair enough on those chances. Yeah,
he's chilling, bro. So, clean sheet. But yeah, I think 6 maybe like playing from that back is a bit risky, man, with Maguire and stuff. I don't know why they keep doing that. I always get stressed out. Like they started this new thing after COVID. A lot of guys are playing out at the back, a lot of teams and stuff. Yeah. And I don't get that with this United team. I don't think they should do that. So I'll dock a point for that for sure. So I'll go 6 out of 10.
Fair enough. Moving on to your right back, Wan-Bissaka.
I think he was the best player in the game. Defensively, he played really well. I think he held his line. He didn't get caught out like he did against Leipzig. He's improved defensively. Going forward, I think I would have liked to see a bit more. But actually, I saw something and Cavani didn't put it away. Like, he could have got an assist easily. So he did provide. It's not like he didn't. Everyone says, we want to see them more attacking. And I think he's working on it. So I'll give him that. I actually... I'll go 8 out of 10. I'll give him +1 for the clean sheet.
Yeah, fair enough. Left back at Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw, man, he's been playing. I think he's been the player of the month, for United, for Manchester United. I think going forward, he's been really good. Again, it was Cavani again who missed that chance. That was a really good link-up play. I think it was with him and Martial, and then he crossed it to what's his name, to Cavani. But I think he played really good going forward. At the going backwards as well, defensively he was solid. I think with Telles back in the Telles coming into the team, it's taken Shaw's level I think a number up. I think he's improved a lot, and I think the same thing you can do with Wan-Bissaka, get another right back and create that competition. I think Luke Shaw, I would probably go for him 7 out of 10. I don't think he did anything wrong, but I'd go 7.
Moving on to Victor Lindelof.
Oh, it's a better performance, man. He's been a bit poor recently. We prefer seeing Bailly. I prefer seeing Bailly with him. But I think he didn't do anything wrong. Not too many mistakes. He was pretty clean. I'd probably give him a 7 out of 10. Luke Shaw, let's go 8. Sorry about that. Yeah, Luke Shaw, let's go 8. Wan-Bissaka 8, and then Lindelof 7. Because I don't know. I think Luke Shaw is a bit better than Lindelof,
for sure, 100%. Then moving on, Harry Maguire.
Bro, that guy could have got sent off, to be honest with you.
Should have got sent off.
Yeah, he could have got some dangerous tackles here. There,
nasty player. Why he be like that? He reminds me of Kane, but it just keeps going in there.
Yeah, he's typical center back, English center back, rough player. And but I think. To be honest, he did his job in certain points. He has that presence, but he needs somebody like a Bai. I always
Yeah,
feel that
yeah,
because it helps his
true.
positioning. I think he is slow, but when he's like when he has a fast guy covering up for him, he'll do well. I think as a defender, he
Right.
can get in those tackles, aerial battles. He can win them. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'll go 6 on 10 for Maguire because I felt that you know, he was on the border of getting sent off.
Fair enough. Moving on, Fred.
Yeah, I was very impressed with him. I think he played
Yeah,
really well, especially when
yeah.
McTominay got injured. I don't know if he was injured or he was sick, but after he got out, I think Fred took over in that defensive midfield role. He covered all the bases, and yeah, man, I think he cut off a lot of passes, broke down some plays, and you saw a lot of interceptions as well. So I think Fred was the main part of that. So yeah, I think I'd go 8 out of 10 for Fred.
Fair enough. McTominay.
McTominay, I'm not gonna rate him because I mean, when
It's
did he
about
come off? Come off,
35
yeah,
minutes, 37 minutes.
yeah. I think he looked like he wasn't well. He was injured, but yeah, I don't think I'll rate him for this one.
All right, we'll
Sorry
move
about
on
that.
to no, that's fine. Move on to Paul Pogba.
He didn't do anything. Created only one chance. I think made some simple passes here and there, but you would like to see something more from him, especially in a big game. I was a bit disappointed with him. So I think I'd probably go. I don't know, 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Bruno Fernandes, or may I say Bruno Fernandes?
Bro, he's apart from that Liverpool free kick, he's had a poor run. I think
Yeah,
Sheffield he was poor again here.
yeah,
I think he could have created more. He didn't. He gave the ball away. I don't have a problem with that.
yeah.
Because he will get you that killer ball and thing, but he's not finding that right now. So yeah, I think it wasn't the greatest evening for him. So probably 5 out of 10 for Bruno.
Fair enough. Moving on, Marcus Rashford.
Again, poor. I think I expected more from him. That chance he had, I don't know what he stalled a bit. I understand the ball's coming fast, so he couldn't hit it first time. But take one touch and then shoot it.
Yeah,
I think Leno did well there. He did well there as a
made
keeper.
himself big. Yeah,
Yeah, he made himself big. So he did well. But yeah, man, he got roughed up. Didn't. Yeah, he had some chances. He ran behind that Arsenal defense, but I think he was kept quiet. So I'd probably give him. Uh, 5 out of 10.
yeah. Fair enough. Moving on, Anthony Martial, who took over Scott McTominay's position.
So going with the sub first,
Yeah.
Marshall.
Well, I just want to finish off because we have to talk a little bit of Cavani before we get close to that.
Bro, Marshall's been poor, man. He's been poor
Yeah.
against Sheffield. Sheffield, a lot of people were angry at him. I think their Sheffield performance was a 0 performance.
Yeah.
And here, maybe like another couple more points add to that. But I think he was poor. He didn't do much. He only had like one shot, I think. He linked up well with Shaw here and there. But you expect your striker to be, getting into those positions. He didn't get into those. With Marshall, I feel he's the type of guy who scores beautiful goals but misses the easier chances.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Confidence player.
yeah, and yeah, I think he's so talented. So he's been underperforming, man. I think his performance was. I'd give him a 4.
Yeah, fair enough.
I want to give less, man, but then I have to think about it.
Yeah, and moving on to the player of Arsenal, Edison Cavani, player of the Arsenal.
See, there's two ways to look at it, right? I can give him a 6 and say that he got into the positions, and at least he got into those positions to create those chances, the good runs and everything. But I can't give him a 6 because he missed the 2 easy chances. The first one, I thought it was a corner. I'm like, oh, that's really good defending. Then I saw the replay. I'm like, that shouldn't be a corner. There wasn't any good defending. There was a poor finish. Like that's.
Yeah, he was just lucky that that it hit Cedric Suarez's leg before it went out. But he should have buried that.
And the funny thing is, the shot went in the direction of Leno, who was out of position. Like in front of him, it was empty. So I don't know what he was doing there. And then the second one was a more difficult chance. Maybe he should have left it for Martial, to be honest, but it's a striker's instinct. He's going to go for it. He went for it and he missed, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
The first one he should have buried, man. The first one, I just can't believe. I mean, I after I saw the replay too, I also first thought that it was some good defending or something of the sort. But as soon as that ball went in, I was like, shit. And then as soon as I went in, and for a second, I thought it was in because I felt like, if I'm not wrong, the commentator said it's in as well, and I was like, shit. And then I realized that it just went side netting. So I was like, wow, thank God. But yeah, it was an unfortunate one. That's why I brought him up last, because I really want to talk about him for a little bit. Thank God he didn't finish that.
That's the thing, right? Like, you can't criticize his technique or anything like that. I mean, you have to just, it's a bad mistake. That's all it is, right? Like, yeah, you can say, he should have timed it a bit better, but his run was perfect. He got into the position, he took a shot, he did everything. Just can't find the net, man. I mean, you should be finding it from that end. And I think he should have won the game for United 2-0. Like, with the, you can say the same thing about Pepe. But
sure.
I just feel these were easier chances. And I think with United needing a win, I think he let them down in that sense. I'm being a bit harsh here, but I think you have to be in this. But if you're, if you want to be a top team, you need to be converting those chances.
Right, for sure, 100%. So what is your final?
So I was going to give him a 3, but like, because I gave Bruno a 5, and if I give Bruno and Pogba a 4, I would give him a 3, but I'll probably give him a 4. I'll go 4 out of 10 for Cavani. If you saw my ratings are lower than yours, and I think that goes to show that there's a better point for Arsenal.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was. I mean,
it's nothing to do with your bias or anything. No, I agree with you.
I would have really liked for us to sneak that one. Unfortunately, we didn't, and that's fine. I mean, these things happen. But yeah, I think I was also slightly more lenient with my players than you expected. A little bit more, maybe, from your players, whatever. It was
because
a good
also
game.
We had our starting, we had our main players. So I think that's a big reason. You had some players stepping up, and they stepped up really well.
Right.
So I think, credit to them. Cedric Suarez, stepping up in Tierney's shoes, it's a big thing. Even though probably he didn't do as much as he needed, you expected it of him, but he still did his job.
For sure, 100%. So yeah, I agree with that. Mason Greenwood, I don't think he had enough of an impact. I mean, he came on pretty late. So before we go, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
3 out of 10, bro. Because you have to look at it this way. I honestly feel there's one thing that he's a really good man manager. He's really good at that. He's shown that, but the problem is tactically. I have an issue. He played only 2 subs. He got them in so late. You should have got Van de Beek a bit early. Maybe he could have tried something more creative. Van de Beek coming on the 70th minute. Instead, I think he came on the 80th minute. You have 5 subs on the bench, man. If it's not working, try something different. Take a risk. Why not? Get in the fresh set of legs. And with these games coming so quickly, I think he should have used more subs and try something different. I don't know why he didn't do that. So yeah, I think for this particular performance, 3 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, I think he's done a really good job for United this season, but tactically he's not there yet, and he's learning on the job, and he's going to be making mistakes. That's why United won't win the league, I think, this season, because there will be tactical issues, and there's also defensive issues. There's different problems as well on the pitch, but I think they still have quality, and they've relied more on individual brilliance. And I think this was a sort of game where they should have won, and he couldn't do it. Solskjaer couldn't do anything about Cavani's chances, but I felt they could have created more chances, right? If you could created those, you could have created more with subs, with fresh legs. That's why I'm going to criticize him. Yeah.
Fair enough. I think, I think that wraps it up. It was an interesting game. It was a fun game. And let's see how these two go on and perform. I mean, we'll be here watching them every step of the way.
It's going this way right now and going in reverse right now. I think,
yeah, I mean, top 4 is probably priority now first, before you can, seal top 4 and then look for anything higher.
I honestly feel Arsenal can get top 4. I always felt this until that December. Then I thought they were going to get relegated. But then I feel but the problem with this season is, I don't know about you, but whatever I think, and it comes completely wrong the next month, right? I'm United are not going to make top 4. Then, suddenly they're challenging for the title. And then now again, they're fighting for the top 4. So same thing with Liverpool, City, with all these teams, everyone's going in phases, Arsenal as well. So let's see how that goes.
Yep, fair enough. It'll be an interesting few more game weeks. I think about 16 left after this. So fun stuff. Yeah, still some time left. Still a lot can happen. But I think let's just enjoy it while we can, So.
Yeah, hopefully we see you in the Europa League. But otherwise, apart from that, I think it's done for United Arsenal this season.
It would be nice to kind of have that an Arsenal United kind of semi-final, final, or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I think we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for joining me, and take care, man.
You too.